What's up, everyone, and what's up, Artemis gang? Artemis here, and I'm back with another JoJo review. And you're probably wondering, oh wow, he actually has content planned for the first time. Yes, this time I actually meant it when I said I was going to do more JoJo reviews and reviews on other mangas and movies. So, like I said, I'm going to make the freaking videos. I got y'all with the content. But anyway, on to part 2. So this will be my second review. Oh, sorry. This will be my second review on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And this part is part 2, Battle Tendency. Now, this is when JoJo becomes good. This is when JoJo becomes better than part 1. So, as you must know, okay? Our main protagonist is, as you can see on the screen, Joseph Joestar. Now, Joseph is a wisecracking moron who sometimes runs away from his fights, and he's actually a really funny character. He's a really fun character to hang out with because he isn't like Jonathan, where he has your typical superhero kind of thing. He'll win any fight if it means to cheat, to use Hamon to cheat, or anything, or cheat on his wife. Part 4. Anyway, so yes, part 2 is actually a kind of like a huge step up to part 1, and it actually is, in my opinion, better than part 1. Joseph is glad to see him train through Hamon. And yes, part 2 will be the final time you will see Hamon in the part before we get to the stands. So, our main protagonist, Joseph Joestar, he is a pretty good protagonist, I'll say myself, and he's definitely a step up from Jonathan. He's a wisecracking dude, and yeah, he's a pretty cool friend, and he starts as stubborn, hot-headed, and he still remains that till the end of this part. But see, that's the thing we love about Joseph. Look, see, as you can see here, he tried fighting Caesar with Hamon. And it really shows stuff for between Joseph and Caesar as a duo. So yeah, overall, Joseph Joestar, big step up from Jonathan. As you can see, he's using Clacker Ballers on the screen. As you can see, he's using Clacker Ballers on the screen. And yeah, he's actually a pretty good character, if I do say so myself. So yeah, overall, Joseph Joestar, big step up from Jonathan. And yeah. Now, let's go over our Joe Bro of part 2, Caesar Zappelli. Descendant of Will Zappelli from part 1. He's kind of a big step up. He starts off as an egotistical jerk, basically, and him and Joseph used to have a feud and everything. And Caesar is also a step up from Zappelli. Is that he started off as a jerk, and he learns to be best friends with Joseph. So Caesar is the Joe Bro of this part, and as you can see, Araki continues the Zappelli Joestar formula, except here it's not mentor relationship; it's more like best friends. See, Caesar started off as an egotistical man who was better at Hamon than Joseph because he had the bubble launcher. But as you can see here, Caesar really popped off when he first got to the Pillar Man. It shows his good side as a person. So yes, Caesar is a hit with the ladies. He is Joseph's he was a rival turned best friend most of the time. But unfortunately, the same with Will A. Zappelli. Caesar, well, spoiler alert, Caesar dies in part 2. As you can see here, he is fighting Wamu. And it's really nice to see, and basically he just got out of a fight with Joseph. So yes. He goes right back to the rival, and he tries to go on his own revenge quest, but unfortunately, as you can see here, Caesar dies. And he gives the last of his Hamon to Joseph Joestar. So overall, I'd say Caesar's a pretty big step up from his grandfather, Zappelli. But the thing is, yeah, he died, and he will always be missed as one of my favorite Joe Bros. Next up, we have their teacher, Lisa. Now, spoiler alert, at the beginning of the part, she is she's actually, yeah, she is basically she's basically a waifu. If you think about it. But yeah, Lisa was Joseph's mentor for most of part two, and she put a mask on him to help him control his hormone breathing because he would use hormone recklessly. So as you can see here, she's a master of hormone and was able to lock the mask on Joseph and stand on that water at the same time. It really shows her hormone training, per se. And as you can see here, her main source of her hormone is mostly her scarf, and she kind of looks like a Terminator with that really cool scarf. Yeah. So basically, Lisa, one of the best hormone users. As you can see, she just barely tear through him with the scarf, but she infused the scarf with hormone. Just like. Alright, back to what I was saying. So as you can see here, Lisa is basically one of the best hormone users. She tried to fight Cars, but spoiler alert, Cars was actually just a double. Cars cheated, as you can see here. Lisa's origin, she is Joseph's mom, as was revealed. She is she's Joseph's mom at the end of the part, and I have to say, part 2 is an overall amazing part. See, the thing is with the Pillarmen, Cars, the main villain of part 2. Now, Cars isn't really, in my opinion, a good character, per se. Because, like, Cars is like, well, how do I put this? Cars is like more of just the final boss. Cars only becomes cool when you know, he basically just gets his ultimate form. Now here's another cool character. Now Cars is a part of the Pillarmen. The Pillarmen are the main villains of this part. You have AC/DC, Wamu, and you have Cars. So Cars is mostly the final boss. Wamu is a very, very honorable person. And as you can see here, Cars, well, yeah, Cars, Wamu, AC/DC. See, Wamu is the key villain here. He is a honorable Pillarman. And you guys can check him out yourself. The background, that's just playing as any random JoJo clip from part 2. So, yeah. So, basically, yeah. That's about it. All I have to say for part 2. And I will give Battle Tendency a 8 out of 10 for Wamu, Joseph, the good characters, and the really big step up from part 2. Unfortunately, you don't really see Dio in this part, but you will in part 3. Goodbye, Artemis Gang. I give this a 8 out of 10.